What's up, guys? Jacob Ober here. Got some Packers news to break for you today. The Packers have hired their new offensive coordinator, and it is going to be Nathaniel Hackett, former offensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, before you go off saying the offensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they suck on offense. Well, let me tell you something. And, you know, it is a little bit of a concern of mine as well, but I don't really think that looking at offensive rankings and offensive numbers really does this guy a whole lot of justice. Obviously, he was fired this year, but he also didn't really have a whole lot to work with this year. I mean, Blake Bortles is Blake Bortles at quarterback, and his star running back, Leonard Fournette, was injured for the majority of the year. And there's really not a whole lot of playmakers on that Jacksonville offense, so it's kind of hard for me to, you know, think that it's all his fault that Jacksonville was bad offensively this year. And you remember a few years ago, Blake Bortles, this guy was also the quarterback's coach for the Jaguars when Blake Bortles had a pretty solid year back in 2015, a breakout year actually, threw for over 4,000 yards and like 30 touchdowns. Imagine that, Blake Bortles being a 4,000-yard, 30-touchdown quarterback. Yeah, that happened. That was under him when he was the quarterback's coach. I also look at it and think, you know, he was the offensive coordinator for their playoff run last year, and they really utilized those play-action fakes in the postseason really well. I mean, their offense worked. It was a really nice balance of run and pass. And you know what? I mean, I'm willing to give this guy a chance. And you know, it's not really a huge deal, not nearly as big of a deal as hiring a defensive coordinator when you have an offensive coach. When you have the offensive coach already with the head coach, Matt LaFleur, obviously, it's not as huge of a deal to be signing an offensive coordinator. So I don't really think his role is going to be necessarily that big, but he still has a lot of experience, and that's what counts. And he did work really well with Blake Bortles in the time where Blake Bortles was actually a pretty solid quarterback. Obviously not anymore, but I'm not really opposed to this hire. I'm glad that they made it. I'm glad that they got that out of the way. Hopefully we can start moving on to bigger and better things. Maybe we'll get a... I'm not sure if they actually hired I don't think they've hired a special teams coach yet after they got rid of Ron Zook. But we'll hopefully get some news on that soon, and then we can start talking about free agency and the draft and everything like that after the Super Bowl is over. So it's going to be a pretty interesting offseason in Green Bay, and we'll see what happens from here on out. But anyways, guys, though, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in to see this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll have more updates on the Green Bay Packers as they become available to me. But in the meantime, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack, go!